You know, we've been talking a lot about USC football, particularly how Lincoln Riley is going to rejuvenate the offense for the men of Troy. But you know, at some point, your defense actually has to stop the other team. So today we're going to talk about, do they have enough? Will the 3-3-5 work? What are the redundancies? What needs to be solved? Good morning, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It is an absolutely glorious day outside. It's April 16, 2022. And I want to start off by thanking you guys. You know, you read these books about YouTube channels and they say, you know, you'll be lucky if you get X number of subscribers the first year. We've already smashed that goal. So thank you. We added a couple of subscribers yesterday. If you like the content we put out, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. We put out new videos between 9 and 10 a.m. every single day. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. I'm not God. I don't know everything. My wife calls me an idiot all the time. I'm still in love with her. It's a good thing. News and notes before we get to the main topic of USC football. We'll start off in the NBA play-in tournament. New Orleans eliminated the Clippers 105-101, and the Pelicans will advance to get humiliated by Phoenix. Big whoop. The Dodgers, they've had their fourth consecutive win. They defeated Cincinnati 3-1. And on for the games today, the Dodgers will play the Reds again. Julio Urias versus Hunter Green. That game's at 7. The Kings will play Columbus at 7:30. And oh, by the way, Galaxy Saturday. The Galaxy will play Chicago at 5 o'clock. As for the notes, let's go back to the Dodgers. The LA Times is reporting that starting pitcher Trevor Bauer just might say, to hell with it and show up to work on Sunday. Now, we've done a number of videos on Trevor Bauer. You can look it up on my channel. We'll talk about this, that, and, you know, whatever. Bauer was accused last year of sexual assault. The case never went to court. They said we couldn't prove anything, and Bauer has maintained all along that he did nothing wrong. The accusation came out in summer. He has been on administrative leave since July, which is basically paid suspension. They just don't use the suspension word, okay? Here's the problem. There was supposed to be a decision by now as to whether or not he was going to be suspended. And so the original administrative leave was agreed on by both the Major League Baseball and the Players Union. Major League Baseball extended it twice. Bauer's argument is if it's not also okay with the Players Union, and we don't know if it's been okay by the Players Union, it's null and void. I want to play. And honestly, I'm no lawyer. He has a point. He does. Look, because he is getting paid, but he's talking about, look, one, I want to compete, and if I can't show people that I can still pitch when my contract is up, you're denying me tens of millions of dollars of potential income. So, yeah, he has a point. Do I think he's right? I don't know. I didn't go to law school. What else can we talk about? With the Lakers, Doc Rivers says he is not a candidate to be the new head coach, and I could have told you that. I did tell you that. I'm not lecturing you. I'm lecturing the LA Times. Stop begging for former Celtics to coach the Lakers. Are you out of your flippin' mind, Bill Plaschke? There's a thing called the USFL that debuts today. There's no LA Express, therefore I do not care. LAFC notes, yes, I'm a Galaxy supporter, but we do treat LAFC fair here, okay? Diego Rossi, his transfer to the Turkish Super League is complete. He's gone to a team that I would never be able to pronounce in 10 million years. Speaking of 10 million, that's how much LAFC is getting. That's a lot of change. Now, this opens another designated player spot for LAFC. They might even have a third because they have yet to extend the contract of Carlos Vela. So LAFC is going to have some options to fill out their roster. Finally, USC basketball. Yes, they are losing as many as 4 starters from the team that went to the NCAA tournament last season, but their class, recruiting class is ranked 6th nationally, definitely tops in the Pac-10. They've added Trey White yesterday, the #4 recruit in California from a place called Prolific Prep. And they already have Oziah Sellers. He is a 6'5" shooting guard from Southern California Academy in Modesto. To which we all say, Modesto's not Southern California. Stop it. I've been to Modesto. I realize Modesto is trying to find anything they can to try and make themselves sound a little bit more important than Modesto. You're Modesto. I was born in San Bernardino. I'm not proud of it, but I do say I'm born in San Bernardino. I don't try to say like, oh, I was born in an LA suburb. Modesto is not Southern California. Stop it. But we're happy to have you with the Trojans. Let's talk Trojans football, specifically the defense, because we've talked a lot about how Lincoln Riley has changed around the offense. Look, the Trojans, they're 2/3 of the way through spring ball, okay? They have 4 practices left. The spring game is at the end of April. And their whole idea with the spring ball is like to find out what the new coaching staff can work with, where they're going to need to recruit during the summer. And the Trojans, through everything that I've been reading, have 2 primary problems on defense. One, defensive back. They are very thin. The coaches aren't particularly happy with what they have at defensive back right now. They have a couple players they like, but not necessarily the whole thing. The other problem that they're having is they run a 3-3-5. And as a result, they have redundancies that need to be solved because overall, the roster is thin. The Trojans lost a lot of people to the transfer portal once Clay Helton left. Well, got fired. And the new coaches, well, they have all these holes to fill. Almost 20 people left the Trojans during the offseason. So they have holes. And the problem is when you have redundancies, you want to try to maximize the talent that you have on the field, right? So here are their 2 main redundancies. It's at defensive end and inside linebacker. They are claiming that it is a nice problem to have, and I think they're right. Sit tight. We'll get to it. Now, I'm only speculating, but here is a potential solution. If you do not trust your cornerbacks, that means you have to kill the quarterback. You have to get to him and sack him. They claim to have the problem with rush end with both Korey Foreman, who is a former #1 prospect in all the country, and a transfer from Auburn, Romello Height. The coaches love them both, but they're saying that they both play the same position, and they're not talking about taking one of them and putting him at the other defensive end position. Nope, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that, okay? And we'll get to why in a moment. So they also have the same problem at inside linebacker. They have a guy they love, a transfer from Alabama named Shane Lee, and they have Raylan Goforth. Well, if you're running a 3-down lineman, 3 linebacker system, you're either asking one of these 2 inside linebackers to play out of position, or you got to find a way to get them both on the field at the same time, right? Is there a better solution? And I will tell you that I think there is. USC is not the only school in the country that runs a 3-3-5. UCLA does. Other schools do too. And the coaches that run the 3-3-5, they love the 3-3-5 because of its flexibility. It is a 3-3-5 in name only. So, for example, you could take a linebacker, pull him up to the line. Now it's not a 3-3-5, it is a 4-2-5, right? Or you can pull a defensive back, add a linebacker or a lineman. Now it's a 4-3 or a 3-4. The reason that they are being coy, that the Trojan coaches are being coy, is that they don't know what they're going to get in the transfer portal over the summer. If they get nothing, which is doubtful, if they get nothing, I believe that a clue to what the Trojans' plan is what they've been teaching Korey Foreman. The stories about Korey Foreman is he is not lining up with his hands in the dirt, a traditional defensive lineman stance. No. They're teaching him how to play while standing up. That is what linebackers do. Now, I'm not saying they're never going to have him be a lineman anymore, but if you take Korey Foreman and now you put him as sort of an outside linebacker hybrid, Now you get both Romello Height and Korey Foreman on the field at the same time to provide additional pressure to the quarterback. Okay? So then, well, wait a second. We have 3 linemen, and we like these 2 linebackers. Why not switch it to a 3-4? Now what do you get? You maximize the talent that you already like. Now, I'm not saying they're going to run this all the time, but I think this might actually wind up being what they do on a regular basis. Now, instead of pigeonholing 2 players that you like into one spot, inside linebacker, now you have in a 3-4, 2 inside linebackers. You keep Rajon Davis, who they love. You keep Goforth, again, love. Lee, the Alabama transfer, and of course the #1 recruit in the country. And now Foreman has the option to approach the line, make it a 4-3, or play back in linebacker and make it a 3-4. And you keep Romello Height. You do that, you have a foundation to maximize the talent you have. Height stays in as a primary defensive rush end, along with Tui Pelotu as their as the other end, and Brandon Peely as 3 down linemen. You keep your talent on the field, maximizes everything. Now you tell me if I'm wrong. Granted, the transfer portal may change everything, but I think this is a solution that they're not confessing to yet. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, by all means, like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Have a great day. Bye-bye.